There is a chamber within your own house where the invisible becomes visible, where the treasures of earth are brought forth without toil or pleading. Few know of it, and fewer still enter it. Yet tonight I will take you there, and in that place I will show you how even a pinch of salt, placed in faith, can open the floodgates of your wealth. Listen carefully, for I will tell you tonight of a place more sacred than any temple built with hands, and of a treasure that cannot be stolen. For it is already yours. You carry this place within your own dwelling. And there, in that secret chamber, you may place a thing as small as a grain, and call forth the wealth of heaven. Do you hear me? A grain, a pinch. Something so small it seems foolish to the world, and yet, in the eyes of God, it is the sign of your faith. The outer world is but the shadow of the inner world. The visible is but the echo of the invisible. The things that fill your house, the gold, the silver, the bread upon your table, they come first from that hidden place within you. So tonight, I tell you plainly, to place salt in the sacred place of your house is to place faith in the sacred place of your mind. Salt is the symbol, consciousness is the substance. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. John 6:63. The spirit, your own consciousness, is what gives life to all things. The flesh, the thing seen, is powerless until the Spirit moves upon it. This is why I tell you it is the Spirit that quickeneth. I will say it again, for this is our refrain tonight. It is the Spirit that quickeneth. Say it with me inwardly, feel it. It is the Spirit that quickeneth. The sacred place in your house is not a corner of wood and stone. It is the secret chamber spoken of in Matthew 66. When thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. That closet is the innermost chamber of awareness, the place where you are alone with yourself, unseen by the world. When you enter that chamber, you shut the door to doubt, to fear, to the reports of the senses, and there you speak to your Father in secret, the I am within you. To place salt there, physically or in imagination, is to make a covenant. You are saying, I am seasoning my world with the assumption of wealth. Salt preserves, it keeps what is pure from corruption. And when you place it in the sacred chamber, you are preserving your faith from the corruption of doubt. Hear now a little story. There was once a man who dwelt in a humble room. Each night, before he slept, he would place a small dish upon his table, and in it a pinch of white salt. To the eye it was nothing, but to him it was the treasure of heaven. As he set it down, he would say in his heart, this is the sign that I have already received my portion. All that I need is mine now. He never counted the days, nor did he watch the door. In time and without warning, a long-forgotten debt was repaid to him, and with it came a steady flow of abundance. He did not change the ritual, for the salt was never about the money. It was the mark of his covenant with the invisible. Close your eyes for a moment. Come with me now into that inner chamber. It is quiet, still. There is only the soft glow of a single light. Before you is a small table, and upon it rests a simple dish. In the dish, a little heap of salt, pure, white, glistening like crystal under the light. You reach out. You feel it between your fingers, fine, dry, eternal. You place it gently in the dish, and as you do, you hear the rustle of notes, the soft clink of coins, the murmured words. It is all yours. The room itself feels richer now. The air carries the scent of cedar and the faint sweetness of bread baking in a far-off oven. You feel the security of plenty, not coming tomorrow, but here now. Can you feel it? Can you hear it? Then you have entered the chamber of the Most High. It is the Spirit that quickeneth. Do you believe that? Not with your lips, but in the secret place of your being. For if you believe, you will act as though it were already done. The world of sense will try to tell you, it is not yet so. But the law is that the inner state precedes the outer fact. What you entertain within will in time harden into the facts of your world. The salt is your reminder. Each time you see it, you return to the state of already having. You do not beg. You do not strain. You simply know. And what you know within must be known without. Let me tell you of a widow in a small village. She had nothing but faith and a little salt. One night, she placed it in the corner of her table and prayed as though her storehouse were full. She thanked her God for bread she had not yet seen, for oil she had not yet poured. In the morning, there was a loaf on her shelf placed there by unknown hands. The next day, oil in her jar. And from that day forth, she never ate a meal without first setting that pinch of salt upon the table, for to her it was the emblem of plenty. Come again inwardly into your own sacred place. See the salt before you. See it as pure light condensed, the essence of wealth in tangible form. As you set it down, feel yourself entering the state of the one who already has. Hear the voices congratulating you. Feel the warm weight of gold in your palm. Sense the quiet assurance that you can never be in want again. You are not making this happen. You are remembering it as already true. That is the mystery. That is the law. It is the spirit that quickeneth. Remember it when you rise. Remember it when you lie down. Remember it when the senses tempt you to forget. It is the spirit that quickeneth. Tonight, when you are alone and the world is quiet, choose a place in your dwelling that will be your sacred chamber. Place there a pinch of salt, not as a charm, but as a seal upon your assumption. Stand before it and feel the fullness of wealth now yours. Do not think of how it will come nor when. Only know that it is so. Then close the door, both in your house and in your mind, and rest in that assurance. I tell you, you are the steward of infinite riches, and your own consciousness is the key to the treasury. All the gold is yours. All the silver is yours. All the bread and wine are yours. Place your salt in faith, and the outer world will answer. So tonight, before you sleep, enter your chamber. Place the salt, place your assumption, and here again in the stillness, it is the spirit that quickeneth. Sleep in that truth, and let the world bear witness. Close your eyes for just a moment and listen within, for what I am about to say cannot be understood with the outer ear alone. The word of Caesar will tell you that you must wait for your fortune, strive for it, earn it drop by drop. But the kingdom of heaven says otherwise. It says that all that you could ever desire already exists now, and is yours the moment you enter the feeling of possession. This third step is the vision in imagination. Not wishing, not hoping, but seeing, hearing, touching in the secret place what the world has not yet seen. For the world waits upon your inner command. According to your faith be it unto you. Matthew 9:29. I say it to you now, as it was said then, according to your faith be it unto you. And what is faith but the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen? Faith is not blind, faith sees with the eyes of imagination. So tonight, I invite you to take hold of this power. Let us leave this hall together in mind and enter into the scene where your desire is already fulfilled. I will walk you there. You are in a room of your own. The door is shut, the air is still. On the table before you lies the sign of your wealth, not merely a coin nor a note, but the fullness of what it means to you. Perhaps it is the heavy purse, its weight pressing into your palm. Perhaps it is the folded paper, warm from another's hand, declaring, paid in full. See it now. Can you see the color of the paper? The way the light falls upon it? Do you hear the faint rustle as you unfold it? Can you hear the tone of the voice that congratulates you, the joy in it? Let us go deeper, feel the texture under your fingertips. Smooth, solid, unmistakable. Let the weight of it press against your hand until it feels as natural as your own skin. Let the fragrance of the room, whether of wood or of paper or of gold warmed by the sun, fill your nostrils. This is your world now. It is not coming to you. It is here. You are in it. Do you see how real it becomes when you give it life with all the senses? The world outside will call this fantasy. But I tell you, this is creation, for all creation begins in the unseen. Let me give you a story. There was once a merchant whose ships were long delayed. His storehouse stood empty, and his servants whispered that ruin was upon him. Yet each night, before he slept, he entered his inner chamber and walked among bales of silk, chests of spice, and jars of oil. He touched them, counted them, breathed in their fragrance. He heard the bustle of men unloading ships at the quay. Weeks passed, and no ship came. Still he returned nightly to his storehouse in imagination, never to the empty one in the flesh. Then one morning, without herald or warning, 3 ships sailed into harbor, heavy with goods beyond his expectation. And he said to his household, "I have only received in the outer what I have long handled in the inner." Can you understand? You must handle in imagination what you desire to handle in the flesh. You must walk in the room of your abundance before the world will open its doors to let you in. And now, let us walk it together once more. Close your eyes, be in that place. Let your hands close over what is yours. Let your eyes take in the abundance as far as they can see. Let your ears hear the voice that says, "It is yours, well done." Do not be a beggar here, be the possessor. Walk about as though you belong, for you do. Hold it, breathe it, and know it. According to your faith be it unto you. Say it again inwardly and let the words take root. According to your faith be it unto you. Tonight, when you lie down to sleep, do not drift into dreams of chance or longing. Enter deliberately into the scene of your fulfilled desire. Make it vivid, not only to the eye but to every sense. Feel its reality until it is more real than the bed beneath you. And when you wake in the morning, carry that feeling as you would carry a secret letter, sealed and sure. If you will do this and persist in it, the outer world will conform itself to the reality you have already entered. And when it comes, you will know it was not by toil or by luck, but by the law of the Spirit. So tonight, before you sleep, I ask you, walk into the treasury of your imagination. Take freely. Touch, see, hear, smell, and taste the wealth that is already yours. And rest in the knowing that you have claimed it. Then listen, for now we come to the truth that will free you from all striving. The state precedes the fact. Nothing appears in your world that did not first take root in the inner man. The seed is always sown in consciousness before it springs up in the field of time. The outer world is not cause but effect. It is the mirror, not the face. To polish the mirror without changing the expression is useless. If you would change what appears, you must change the state from which it appears. It shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer, and while they are yet speaking, I will hear. Isaiah 65:24. Do you hear the promise? Before the outer event, the answer already exists. Before the prayer leaves your lips, it is heard. Which means the state you assume now is the forerunner of tomorrow's fact. Hear a little story. A man once desired to be free from all debt. Each night, he would close his eyes and feel the lightness of being debt-free. He imagined himself writing letters of thanks to those who had once been his creditors. He walked about in imagination as one unburdened. For weeks, nothing in the outer seemed to change. Yet inwardly, he refused to leave that state. Then, one by one, unexpected sums arrived. An old account settled, a gift from a relative, a commission paid early. The exact amounts needed came in ways he could never have devised. And he knew these outer happenings were not the cause of his freedom, but the shadow cast by the state he had already entered. So I say to you, the cause is always invisible. The state is the seed. The fact is the harvest. You may stand in the field now and see no sign of green, but if the seed is sown, the harvest is certain. Close your eyes, let us sow now. See yourself as already in possession of what you desire. Feel the atmosphere of that state. Is it ease? Is it quiet confidence? Is it the joy of completion? Let it fill you. Hear the casual tone in your own voice as you speak to a friend about it, not announcing, not boasting, but simply living in the fact of it. Walk through a day in that state. Wake in your own bed and feel the difference in your heart. Step into the street as one who already has. Notice how the air seems warmer, the light richer, because you have changed within. It shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer. Let that be your assurance. You are not waiting for the world to act. You have acted already in consciousness. The world is only catching up. Do not test this law with anxious eyes on the clock. Do not dig up the seed to see if it grows. Remain in the state and let the fact appear when its hour has come. The seed knows when to break the soil. You need only keep the ground of your mind in faith. Tonight, as you prepare for rest, choose the state that implies your desire is fulfilled. Enter it fully. Lie down in it. Let sleep carry it deep into the garden of the subconscious. And know, with a certainty beyond sight, that the fact will appear, because the state is already yours. So I tell you again, the state precedes the fact. Sow it now, and the harvest is inevitable. Sleep in your harvest tonight. Listen carefully. The act of faith is not belief about something. It is the conscious assumption that it already is. It is not hope. It is not a wish. It is possession in the unseen. Faith does not ask, will it come? Faith declares, it is here now. And the world, that outer shadow, simply echoes the sound already spoken within you. I tell you, without this act, you may desire for years and never see the harvest. But the moment you clothe yourself in the end, the moment you take the invisible as your present reality, the law begins its work, and it cannot fail. Do you remember the words of our Lord? When ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Not believe that you will receive, for that is always tomorrow, but believe that ye receive them in this moment, in this breath, before any evidence, and you shall have them. This is the act of faith. Faith walks as though the thing were done. Faith speaks in the past tense about the desire it holds. Faith moves in the confidence of possession while the world calls it absence. Faith is the boldness to plant your foot on ground the eye cannot yet see. But listen to the law. The outer man cries, show me first, and I will believe. The inner law says, believe first, and it will be shown. The one is the way of the world, the other is the way of the kingdom. And the kingdom is within you. Hear now a little story. There was a man who labored under debt. Every morning the collectors came. Every night he counted the few coins left. And one evening, weary of his fear, he shut his door and lit a single candle. He opened his worn ledger and with a steady hand wrote at the top of the page, paid in full. He closed the book and placed it on the shelf as though the matter were ended. And in the stillness he gave thanks, not for a coming day, but for the fact of freedom. The weeks that followed brought no miracle he could see. Yet he would not open the ledger again. He walked through his days as a man released. And then, by channels no mind could have arranged, an old acquaintance returned a forgotten sum. A commission came early, a debt was forgiven, until at last the page was true in the outer, as it had long been true within. Now I ask you, could this have happened if he had daily reopened the book to prove it was not yet done? Could he have seen the end if he had not first acted from it? No, he acted in faith, and the faith took form. Can you see it? Can you feel it? For tonight I would have you become like that man, to write in the ledger of your heart, paid in full, healed completely, happily married, living in abundance. To write it not with pen and ink, but with feeling. For feeling is the ink of the invisible. Pause now and hear the refrain. When ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Let these words settle in you like seed in good soil. Say them within yourself, not as a hope, but as a possession. And now enter the scene. You are in the room you know so well, the place where you will first enjoy the thing you desire. Look about you. See what you would see if it were already true. Hear the words another would say to you. How wonderful, it's yours. Feel the pressure of their hand as they congratulate you. Breathe in the air of that place, that hour. Can you feel the lightness in your chest? The quiet joy in your breath? This is the act of faith, not tomorrow, but now. And let me tell you another story. There was a woman who longed for her son's safe return from a distant land. Each day the village spoke of dangers, of loss, of ships that did not arrive. Yet every evening she set a place for him at her table. She spoke to him in the quiet, as if he were across from her. And when her neighbors asked, "Why do you trouble yourself?" she replied only, "He is here." Months passed, and one autumn morning, as the mist lifted from the road, she saw his figure walking toward the door. She had lived from the end, and the end came to meet her. But you say, "I have tried to believe, and nothing has happened." I answer, have you believed that you receive, or have you believed that you will receive? The first is faith, the second is hope. The first claims the invisible as present, the second postpones it to a day that never arrives. Faith is not straining, faith is not forcing, faith is rest. It is the Sabbath of the soul. When you enter that state, you cease all anxious effort. You are as one who has planted and now allows the rain to fall and the sun to shine. The seed grows of itself. Do you see? This is why I tell you, take no thought for the morrow. Not that you should be careless in life, but that you should not disturb the seed with constant digging. When you have assumed the feeling, remain there. When you have claimed the end, dwell in it. Let us enter the scene again. This time, make it vivid. If you seek wealth, hear the sound of the coins or notes in your hand. Feel their texture. Smell the faint metallic scent. Hear the rustle as you place them on a table. Look into the eyes of one who shares your joy. Do not think of getting, think from having. And if it is health you seek, imagine the strength in your limbs. Feel the ease in your breathing. Walk across the floor in perfect freedom. Hear someone say, "You look radiant." And let the words sink in as truth, not wish. Faith is not asking God to do something for you. Faith is identifying yourself as the one in whom it is already done. I am. That is the name of God. And when you say, "I am rich, I am loved, I am whole," and mean it in the unseen, you are calling forth that which is already established in the eternal. Hear this well. Outer facts are shadows. They are the slow echoes of inner states. If you wish to change the shadow, you must change the light within. The light is your assumption. I say again, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Hold to it. Let no voice persuade you to release it. Let no delay make you doubt. A third story, and then we shall seal the act within you. In a small town, a craftsman dreamed of building a house upon the hill. He had no land, no timber, no coin to speak of. Yet each evening he climbed the hill and walked its crest. He chose the spot for the door, the view from the window. He saw the fire burning on winter nights, the table set for guests. And in his mind he worked the wood, shaped the beams, set the stone. His neighbors laughed at him, but he only smiled. And one summer a patron came, unbidden, who had land and means, and who desired such a house as the craftsman had already built in his heart. You see, the act of faith builds first in the invisible, and the visible comes to take its likeness. Now I invite you, choose your hill, choose your end. Walk in it in imagination until the path is worn. Let the neighbors in your mind laugh if they must. Their laughter will become their astonishment. Before we part tonight, I would have you remember. The act of faith is this: to assume that you already are what you long to be, and to dwell there until the world reflects it. To feel it real now, to see from the end and never again from the absence. Tonight, before you sleep, enter that end. Feel the pillow beneath your head as though it were the pillow in the home you now own. Hear the wind against the walls of the house that is already yours. Smell the air of the life you have claimed. Do this until you drift into sleep, for in sleep the act is sealed. And you will rise tomorrow in the same state, until the shadow without matches the substance within. When ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. This is the law. This is the promise. And the promise never fails. Listen carefully. The act of faith is not some dramatic outer gesture, nor is it a pleading with a far-off power. The act of faith is the quiet, deliberate assumption that what you have asked for is already yours. It is not a request, it is a taking. It is not a hope, it is a possession. It is not waiting for proof. It is resting in the certainty that proof is unnecessary, for the thing already exists in the unseen. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Let me repeat it. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Do you hear what it is saying? Faith is not the shadow of the thing, it is the very substance. Faith is not the promise of evidence, it is the evidence itself. To act in faith, therefore, is to hold, to touch, to dwell in the unseen reality, as though it were the most solid fact of your world. The world calls it madness, but the world calls anything madness that does not bow to its visible facts. Yet, I tell you, all visible facts are but shadows of invisible causes. If you are waiting for the shadow to change before you accept the cause, you will wait without end. The cause changes first, and that cause is in you. Hear now a little story. There was once a man in a distant village who each morning walked into the marketplace with a basket under his arm. The basket was always covered with a cloth. None knew what was inside, but he walked with the confidence of one who carried precious goods. One day a curious merchant asked, "Why do you bring this covered basket each day when you have nothing to sell?" The man replied, "I bring it because it is already full." The merchant laughed, "But I have seen it empty." And the man smiled and said, "You have seen it with your eyes, but I have carried its fullness in my heart, and because I have carried it there, one day you will see it with your eyes as well." And so it happened. The day came when the basket was indeed filled with the most exquisite fruits, and the man carried it no differently than before. Can you feel the weight of your own basket now? Can you walk through your day with it covered, knowing its fullness before one grape is visible? This is the act of faith, not looking into the basket for reassurance, but moving as though its contents are already overflowing. Faith will always look foolish to the reasoning mind, for the reasoning mind demands to see first and believe later. But the law is reversed. You must believe first, and then you will see. According to your faith be it unto you. Not according to your waiting, not according to your effort, not according to your virtue. According to your faith. Now, let us go inward together. Close the outer eye for a moment and open the inner. Imagine that in your home there is a small table, your own sacred place. Upon it lies the token of the thing you most desire. Perhaps a letter confirming the great sum of money, perhaps a bag of gold coins, perhaps the title deed to the property you love. Do not see it as distant. See it here, in this very room of imagination. Reach out, feel the texture under your fingertips. If it is a letter, feel the crispness of the paper, hear the faint rustle as you open it. Let your eyes trace the words. Though the words are born of your own mind, they carry the thrill of surprise. Feel the quickening in your chest, the warmth that spreads when you realize it is done. Stay there, rest there, for this is the evidence, and in this moment you need no other. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. That is the refrain of the soul in faith. Say it quietly within, I shall not want, I already have. Hear another story. A woman once longed for a beautiful garment she had seen in a shop window, but she had no money to buy it. Each night before sleep, she imagined herself wearing it, feeling the fabric upon her skin, hearing the compliments of her friends. She never visited the shop again, for in her mind it was already hers. One day a relative who had never given her gifts before brought her a parcel. Within it, that very garment. When she slipped it on, she felt no shock, only the quiet recognition. Of course, I knew this. This is the mark of true faith. When the thing arrives, it feels natural. There is no wild disbelief, for disbelief could never have carried it to you. It comes as the harvest comes to the farmer. Expected, inevitable, the result of seeds already sown. Now listen, you may say, but my senses deny it. The world tells me it is not so. I tell you, your senses are the last to yield. They are servants, not masters. You have been taught to bow to them, to let them dictate the limits of your belief. But the senses are like the rear view mirror of a carriage. They only show you what is behind. Faith is the forward look. Imagine again, this time let us make it even more vivid. You are at your own table. Before you lies a heavy pouch tied with a cord. You untee it. The knot loosens under your fingers. You pour its contents upon the table, and the coins spill out bright and warm. You can hear the clear ring as they strike the wood. Lift one. Feel its solid weight, the cool metal against your skin. Smell the faint metallic scent. This is not fancy. This is the very act of creation. You are calling substance into being, and it will clothe itself in the forms of this world. Once more, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Let this phrase live in you. Whisper it when doubt approaches. Speak it when fear tries to reason with you. For faith is not blind. Faith sees what the world cannot. There was in another village a farmer whose land had been barren for many seasons. His neighbors mocked him, saying he was cursed, but the farmer rose each morning and walked his fields as though the harvest were already standing tall. He sharpened his tools, mended his baskets, and even built a new storehouse. Why do you labor for what you do not have? They asked. He answered, because I do have it. I see it, and I will be ready when it appears. And in the due season, the rains came, the earth yielded, and his storehouse was filled. Can you prepare the storehouse of your own heart now? Can you act, not in frantic striving, but in the serene readiness of one who already holds the promise? This is the act of faith. And I say to you, tonight before you sleep, find your sacred place. Whether in imagination or in the corner of your room, place there in thought the thing you most desire. Return to it in feeling, not as a wish, but as a fact. Let the senses of the inner man handle it, taste it, hold it. And when you rise tomorrow, walk as one who has already received. Speak little of it to others, but in your heart, give thanks as though the gift were already in your hands. For it is. Tonight, before you sleep, shut the door of your senses and step into the room already prepared for you. See only what you desire to see. Feel only what you desire to feel. Let no shadow of doubt enter. Rest in the joy of possession as though the whole world already confirmed it. And when sleep takes you, it will take you carrying your treasure. From that moment, the work is done, for it is finished.